Hello, welcome back to Into the Studio. I am Nylon,
I am Matt.
and we are here to deliver the wonderfully queer content that your heart desires. We had a special guest again, as always. They're all special, and we love them all.
Yeah, I mean Wilder, also Wilder Yari, full name, is a very close friend of mine, and they give amazing tarot reads, just amazing advice, and is just like a really talented performer. They are a non-binary actor that's up and coming. They're based in Los Angeles, and at the moment they can be currently seen on CW's 4400. So basically, if you don't know,
Yeah. By the way, 4400.
if you don't know the synopsis of 4400, basically the entire premise of the series is that 4400 people mysteriously reappear after previously like vanished without a trace, and the whole series is following like what goes on with that. So Wilder plays the
To clarify, actually, it's like 4,400 people from like across a bunch of different over the decades all suddenly reappear.
yes,
Like they're all from a bunch of different time zones and not time zones, but time periods.
time zone.
I know what I meant. They're
I
all
mean,
from a
they
bunch of
are
different.
in different time zones.
Okay,
but
well, they're all from a bunch of different time periods and all suddenly reappear like 100 years later or something like that, which is
Yeah.
cool. I think it's fun.
And Wilder portrays the by the book Department of Homeland Security Jessica Tanner, and yeah, so as Tanner basically continues to investigate all this, the plot thickens. You should watch it. Watch the series. Support Wilder. Support all these non-binary actors. And yeah, so the again going back to the premise, if for those who haven't seen 4400, the people who have reappeared have no memory of what's happened, and they also are starting to develop like superhuman abilities. So it's very interesting.
I think I remember seeing like the first few episodes or like the first trailers coming up for it, and I don't think I finished watching it, which is like my bad, my on me completely. I need to go back and watch it because I'm reading the synopsis now, right, guys? And I'm like, actually,
It's really good.
I think I want to watch this.
I like it. I have issues following live action series most times, but the 4400 has captured my brain.
Yeah.
So going to Wilder's career, they were recently seen in the second season of the L Word Generation Q, and have previously appeared in the 2019 short film Triacle, which made a splash at like various film festivals, as you do with short films. But also Wilder extends like their abilities to behind the camera. They know how to edit.
And we talk about this later. There was something about editing. They don't like editing.
Yeah.
Me as an editor,
Well,
I also
stay
don't like
tuned for
editing.
the interview.
Yes, no one likes editing though. By the way.
Their feature film script, Nee Maroney, was chosen as the semi-finalist for Sundance Institute's 2021 Creative Producing Lab, and Wilder is preparing to direct that project in the near future, which is really great.
We'll have to bring him back on actually, because like queer directors are like a different ballgame. We'll have to do like where are they now, and like have like them come on and be like, yeah, so directing sucks. Well, no, I'm actually manifesting good directing for them.
Going through just like Wilder's life.
Yes.
Wilder
also New York based though.
yes.
Born in New York.
Born in New York. Wilder was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, which is cool because I was born and raised. Well, not born and raised. I was born in Venezuela, but I was raised in Queens, New York. Their mother is an Iranian immigrant who lectured at the Museum of Modern Art for most of their childhood, and their father is an American architect, which is cool. They stated in previous interviews that they definitely caught the acting bug early and figured out that they wanted to be like in film and TV when they were a teenager because they love like performing and making people laugh and like having that kind of energy bounce back from like doing whatever.
And we absolutely talk about that. I know this is something like, because we did this a little out of order this time, but they mentioned like they wanted all the attention on them, but like in the actor sense, not like the I'm toxic.
Yes. So earlier in their life, they got the opportunity to study acting for the camera at the Royal Conservatory in
Scotland.
And they said in a prior interview as well that they were all supposed to bring in like examples of good film acting, but of course nobody did. So our TA showed us an example he really liked, the movie Warrior with Tom Hardy. So like in one of those like too cool teenager type art student movie about like men doing men things.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm angry that like everyone seems to be going to like other countries so early just to go like do their career stuff, like Scotland.
Oh yeah, Nylon recently found out that like acting means that you get to be flown out to other countries.
So
And they
anyway,
were surprised when I was like, yeah, no, they fly me out places.
so anyway, I have all the origins of an actor, and I didn't become an actor. I became an editor. So, when I rejoin improv troops and I go visit my good friend Ellie Desatel and I get their acting classes, you will find me in a different country. I'm gonna make it
Anyway,
happen. still
they
mad about it,
they
though.
stated that like when like film schools watching like all these pretentious films, they remember just kind of like basically just goofing off in the back of class, being like, yeah, sure, whatever. But then there was this one frame of Nick of Nick Knoll, and was like, wow, there's stuff that's like beyond acting. Like it's a beautiful frame. Like there's editing, there's like photo work, there's like a whole bunch of other things that's other than just like straight acting. And they just from that moment on, they had stated that they wanted to do acting. They just wanted it all. They wanted everything.
I think to be clear to everyone who is not in the industry or is just not getting into it, Wilder touches on it later, but you have to know the ins and out of your industry, even if you're just an actor, because like, especially with self tapes right now, like you're doing your whole production for your self tape for your auditions and stuff like that.
Oh my god, yeah. Like there's so much that goes into this day and age of being an actor, because like you have to know how to like use a ring light and like have good lighting, have like a good camera setup, have a good backdrop, be able to edit your self tapes, be able to like do a whole bunch of other stuff, and especially if it's like a Zoom live interview or something like that, you have to know how to do all this stuff.
Yeah, but there are like absolutely like in the quote we have, it's like there are absolutely other things besides being an actor, like the lighting that is hitting their face, like, and the lighting that's like hitting the other side of them to light them up from like a backlighting, like that's all planned, thought out, and designed by somebody.
Like the makeup artist,
the makeup artist,
people, like there's
the
so much
people
that goes
who
into
make the food for sets, like not just like for eating, but like for on scene. You have to make it look exactly the same. Like
every makeup artist chasing me down on set because I keep wiping everything off.
Oh my god!
I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Our technician right now, Robert, is crying.
Yeah, Wilder is an up and coming performer, definitely gaining their ground. They now have that sick blue check mark on Instagram.
Recently verified.
So you know it's real. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about in the interview that we have filmed. There's a lot of information that Wilder has led us on in. Talk about their life. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We're going to cut to it now.
I'll cut to it now.
Hello. Welcome back to our interview portion of the episode. We are here with Wilder Yari, who is a lovely friend of mine.
Yes. It's like in a very lovely sweater.
Thank you very much. It's kind of Smurf chic if you think about it.
Oh, yeah, the white hat.
The white hat. It wasn't on purpose. I swear to God. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Oh my God.
I guess we'll jump right into questions. First question, obviously, why did you choose acting?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good question. Why did I choose that? I don't know. I think it's just, I remember like the first time I was on stage, I was like 12 years old in this like community theater production. And I had like never felt what I felt up there, which was this sense of play and a sense of communication with like a larger audience. And I was like, I want to find a way to do this forever and ever. And as I've gotten older and like gotten more like, I don't know, years under my belt with the craft, I've realized that an entertainer's job is to give something.
Right.
And that's what I really wanted to do. Like, I want to be able to like produce some kind of catharsis for other people. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, that's why. That
is fair. Jumping off the acting, how do you think that your career has shaped your identity?
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God, totally. So I don't know if this is going to get mentioned in the podcast at all, but we recorded this one time prior. So I don't know what I said last time, but I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of like, you can't humiliate me. Like you can't.
Yeah.
And that is very, I mean, like, I feel like all actors, hopefully it's like you get to a point where you're like, I have done stupid things for a coconut deodorant commercial that I didn't even want. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
have you guys seen that tweet that's like, winning an Oscar isn't humbling, getting up to do a voiceover audition 40 times in your closet, that's like me hungry for snackies before going to work, for like a 1 in a 5,000 chance of winning $300. That is humbling.
Yep.
Yup. So I would definitely say that it's shaped who I am as a person. I'm not embarrassed easily. And yeah, honestly, weirdly, I think it's given me a lot of confidence, because when you've been doing this for a while, you reach a point where either I'm total shit and I should just give up, or you're like, I'm in this to win this. Like, it might as well be me. You know what I mean? And my direction has really gone in the like, you know what? Like, you can't defeat me, and I deserve to be here, I guess. So yeah.
I can definitely empathize with that. Like, I don't get embarrassed at all anymore since like jumping into
Totally.
the entertainment industry, because like you do so much weird shit in auditions, like
So much weird shit. And also shit that you didn't necessarily want, like, come here to do, you know, like,
Yeah.
everyone comes into this industry with a role or someone that inspired them, and you're like, I want to do that. And then you're auditioning for like Disney Channel shit, and you're like,
Yeah.
and I'm going to give it my all. Great, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's like a skill you need to have to become an actor?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who's like taking acting classes for the first time, what's your advice?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, everything about it is humiliating. Really.
No, like honestly, it's if you don't have thick skin in this industry or learn to do it, you're gonna hate yourself and you're gonna want to die. Like,
and you're gonna like hate yourself, want to die, and also like just be worse at it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm sure we've all seen this in like an acting class or even in auditions where the other actor like really doesn't want to look dumb. So they're not flexible with the material. They don't take direction because they're like, I can't risk looking stupid for a second. And that'll kill your career. That'll like kill the fun, like the whole point you're fucking here, you know? Yeah.
Acting is hard, and that kind of like segues into another question, which is like being a non-binary actor, as I'm sure you know, is also hard. How do you want to speak anything on like being a non-binary actor and what that's like is being in the industry and like all the experience you have?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, and it differs for every person. I will say that, I mean, Matt, as you well know, Orion, as I'm sure you have a sense as well, there's definitely a very clear image of what people think non-binary is, and that is white, non-binary, that is white, able-bodied, thin, and usually like AFAB for some reason. I don't really know how that happened, but it's like, if you're AMAB and paint your nails, it's like, oh, you're a trans girl. And like, that's not it. Like, no. So yeah, there's definitely a very clear perception of like what non-binary is and looks like. And I already come from a very privileged position because I am white, I am able-bodied, etc. So, and I am still like not trans enough, not non-binary enough to like go out for the stuff that I really would love to be doing. I think it puts a lot of pressure on non-binary actors to like take hormones, to transition, to do these like physical manifestations of like transitioning, when the whole point of being non-binary is to do whatever you fucking want to do.
It's non-binary.
Like the entire, it's like in the name, you know? So yeah, I mean, it's a like, without sounding like too much of a downer, like it's a tough gig being non-binary, and that's why I still go out for like cis female roles, because that's how I get seen by a lot of casting directors, and it's like shitty and frustrating. But I'm also like, I mean, it's it has definitely put me in a place where I have to get really specific about what I do and don't want to do to myself. You know what I mean? I had to like really think about like, do I want to go on hormones right now? Like, do I want to get top surgery right now? And then kind of move from there. I mean, if you have any kind of ego going into this industry, being a non-binary actor like removes that even more, where you're like, I have no control over how anyone sees me, and I'm just like going with what I'm given, you know?
Right.
I'm sure that's like hard on set because a lot of people won't distance you from the character, so they're constant misgendering. I've heard it from like your half, so like that's gonna fucking
Oh my
suck.
God. Yeah. I'm sure I've bitched about this in group, but where I have like my bright yellow they them pronouns t-shirt that I wear to costuming, and they're still like he him all this, and I'm like,
right. Yeah, totally. I mean, for a second I thought they were misgendering you as female, and I was like,
No, the other way.
not in the industry, but
Okay.
like when I go to FedEx, I get misgendered as a woman. Like
what?
in a grocery store. I don't get over the phone too. Like I'll call my insurance and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am," and I'm like, "Where?"
Like that have like your literal name being Matt, but also what I don't get is like you were skateboarding and someone's like, "You go, girl," but it's like you.
Oh my God. I was
skateboarding.
skating down the street and some person like literally was trying to catcall me because they thought that I was a girl. I was like, "You go, girl. I love seeing women skate like you." And I'm like, hello.
What? Like, how dare you? That's crazy.
I don't get it.
So sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating, and it also is like kind of just makes me want to like, I mean, what like they're never gonna get it right. They're not gonna get it right, so like whatever, you know?
Yeah. At this point, and I think also just like acting helps me really be confident in myself because I'm always like playing other people.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one of those things where it's like if I get misgendered, I'm like, all right, you're just wrong. Like,
Hey, totally. That's really good to remember. Sometimes I get really hung up on that kind of shit. But you're right. It's ultimately about the other person as opposed to you.
Mhm.
Let me ask a question. I have questions.
Yeah.
Is there other stuff in the industry that you're looking at pursuing right now?
Yeah. Totally. I mean, I direct a bunch.
That's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, I produce a little bit, but it's sort of like you got to know what your skills are. Like, I'm not great with logistics. So I feel like just naturally,
Sometimes
I
I've been
hear
a
you.
coordinator.
Right, exactly. Like it just wouldn't, it's like, you know, the heart is willing, but the body is not ready to do that shit. I mean, Matt, you totally get it. Neurodivergent as hell. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I direct quite a bit and I really enjoy it, but it is funny because it's nice to be, it's like definitely like my second passion is not the thing that is like, they're not even neck and neck, you know, like acting is definitely first. And it's funny because it reminds me of how it's a nice change of perspective because I imagine how I feel about directing is how some actors feel about acting, and it drives me crazy. You know, when like a skateboarder is like, oh, and like, and I'm also kind of an actor, like, yeah, whatever, that's cool. And you're like, oh, that's cool. Oh, no. Oh, that's how I feel about directing, where I'm like, yeah, it's like cool and I get to do it a lot and people pay me to do it and that's sick. And meanwhile, there are people that like train for years, are like pushing the dream happen, and I'm just like, like it's fun. But yeah,
it's nice. Like perspective. Yeah,
I feel that way, like especially when I got like my my producer gigs like pre-COVID. This was so you have like me like being like 22, like ha ha ha, fun. I'm in charge of people.
Totally. There are people that have been doing like trying to get their union days for literally years, and they're just like, yes, it's very cool, good for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's nice to be in that other position. It definitely makes me a better actor, but even more than that, I think the mindset shift is really important.
What do you think that your plan is for like 2022 for your career or just life?
Yeah. No, that's a great question. I mean, 2022 for me, it's about a couple things. Number one, I'm doing like a day job shift where I think I told you y'all this time. Sorry, I told you all this last time. Learning how to code and have like kind of started doing some more animation stuff, which I think is really, really fun. So that shift has been one that I really enjoyed because it puts me in a position where I'm like, cool, I can do hard stuff and stuff that I didn't think I could do, like neurodivergent people in STEM, like, but not the way that you traditionally think about it. So that's been really cool. But in terms of work stuff, I have a couple of scripts in the works. Yeah, I'm working on developing my short film, New Marooney, into a feature. That's
I'm
really
so
cool.
excited for you. Oh my God.
That's exciting.
Yeah, wait, I mean, I don't know if you and I have talked about this, Matt, but it's about someone with an immigrant parent that's like going back to like this like parent country that they like,
Right.
never knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the more experience I have talking to people who are like in some way part of a diaspora, the more I see this thread of like, I am like a gay person and like, is it cool if I go home or like my parents' home? Like they spent so much energy leaving that place. Am I like allowed to come back? Like, will I be accepted there? Is my heritage like something that I can have ownership over? So yeah, I'm working on developing that into a feature, and then I have a couple short projects on top of, being a killer actor and continuing to do that. So that's 2022. That's the plan anyway.
That's fun. I'm excited.
I'm
excited. Good time.
Oh my God. I think, yeah. Is there anything else that you want to say or share your handles or?
Yes, of course. My handle on IG is just wilder.yari. But also, if any of the listeners are in LA, I'm selling some art to upcoming shows. Visual art is something that I've done for a long time, very passionate about. And kind of on a whim, I just submitted some art to a couple of fairs, I guess. So I will be at 2 of them. One is by Found Future on the 19th of April. And the second, I think, is on the 22nd of April. Let me double check that really quickly. But yeah, one of them is in Highland Park. The Found Future one is the 19th in Highland Park. And the second one is April 22nd at Catch One, the iconic club. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. If anyone in the LA area is interested, please come through. I think it's gonna be fun.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. You can find Wilder at wilder.yari on Instagram, and then their TikTok is, oh my God, it's such a complicated TikTok.
It's like
name.
wild.tiger, but tiger spelled TIGRR.
No, it's WILDRR.TGRR. So it's Wilder Tiger, but like fancy.
Fancy. And you can find us at into_the studio on Instagram, and on Twitter it's just into the studio. You can also find us on YouTube. It's like /into the studio 323. You can go ahead and like follow and subscribe to us there.
Subscribe now. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Did you say like and subscribe? Yeah, guys, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.